Okay, so here we are. It's August 22nd, 2023. So today is the inaugural podcast of Green Light and Banter. So I'm going to spare you the complete details, but we've actually been trying to get this started for about 30 minutes. However, our fantastic soundboard mixing thing, microphone setup, we did several test runs, and it doesn't seem to really work the way we thought it would.
It doesn't work at all. We are completely unprepared for this, yet we're moving forward.
Well, we're not unprepared. We're just unequipped. I think there's a difference there.
Don't try to church it up. We are unprepared. We have a board that's not working. We have one mic that does not work at all. We have to practically talk inside of the mic. Our headphones aren't working, yet Greg is continuing to wear his headphones to get a feel for the headphones. That's the only solution I can come up with. But we're going to go forward with this and see where we go.
Yeah, and we're only going to do 15 minutes. But there's one thing that we haven't done, which is introduce ourselves.
Indeed.
Which nobody really cares, quite honestly. However, you probably need to know at least a detail or two about the individual behind the voice. So, I'll let you go first, my friend.
All right, I am Jamie, and I am from Knoxville, Tennessee, and we are here to banter under the green light that's provided for us, and that's about it for me, and I'll hand it off to my cohort here.
I mean, that's really all you have?
Well, I think that's probably all that everybody needs to know right now. I don't think they want my Social Security number or anything.
Well, I don't think that's necessary, quite honestly. But I mean, a few more details. So we're going to limit this to 15 minutes today, but the time hasn't started yet because this is intro.
Okay.
All right. So I'm Greg. My name is on the podcast because I didn't know how to create it any other way. I'm from Knoxville as well. We've talked about this for 3 to 4 years. The whole topic, the title of the program goes back probably 3 to 4 years, whereas, there was sufficient time wasted at work because genuinely every day about
45.
4:45?
Yeah.
I was thinking 4:20, which it doesn't really, there's no correlation with the time 4:20, but let's say it's 4:30-ish.
Okay.
So there was sufficient time wasted at work on mindless discussion about, quite honestly, nothing, when individuals were supposed to be doing their training, which was called Green Light.
Now I'm just getting the title.
You didn't know this?
No, it's just now got to me.
Okay, so our good friend Cameron Cooley, name dropping.
Big name dropper.
I asked him one day, I was like, well, what's going on at the office? And he said, well, Green Light and Banter. And I was like, that makes sense. So that's the title.
And that just hit me. I had no idea where it came from. I just thought you came up with a witty title.
Well, it's both witty and it has some.
Well played, Cameron. Well played.
Yeah. And so a few of the things we want to do is just we bring up a topic, we hit it for a certain amount of time. We get the green light and we go. And the topic is random. There's no swearing. I mean, it's difficult for some people. But, I mean, the topic is just random, and it starts there. Who knows where it's going to go? We want to have guests. We have several people who want to be a guest. We have one specific guest in mind for our first guest. So who knows if that'll happen. So we may not have a guest for some period of time because we're going to hold out for our first guest. and we'll see. We're not going to mention that. We'll see what happens.
We're going to be picky, even though we have no business being picky whatsoever with our first guest.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to do something, why not? Try to do it the way you want to do it, because
Right. I'm with you.
it just has more meaning.
Yep.
So we had a few topics in mind today. Actually had 3. I could only remember 2 because there was other things that happened this afternoon. I typically get distracted, which is normal. So, do you want to mention these 3 topics and then pick one?
Yeah. So we got she's known as the Bee Lady on Instagram.
Is she really known as the bee
Well,
lady?
that's what we call her.
No, that's what you call her.
We'll see if I can find her name here. It is Erica Thompson. ErikaThompson.
And here we go with the name dropping.
That is not a name drop. That is information
It is
given.
Definitely a name drop. So, Erica, okay, so that's the bees topic.
Yes.
I'm not going to get into it in case we pick that.
Okay.
The second topic was something that occurred today in my life, whereas I sent a photo to a few of our friends regarding. I don't even know how to describe
It was the state of the inside of a gentleman's car that the best way to describe it is a rolling ashtray. It had ash everywhere within.
Yeah, so not only in like the cup holder ashtray, but it was all over the shifter.
Yep.
So this person could never roll the window down.
It was
We'll
incredulous.
just say that. And then the third topic is a little weird, but how do one,
To put it bluntly, how does one go about making a living off of selling photos of his or her feet?
yeah. So legitimate topic.
It's legitimate. It's a seedy world that I'm not sure I want any part of, but I'm willing to discuss.
But I mean, if you have a solid foot game, I mean, why not get paid for it?
There's not one person on the planet that has a solid foot game.
I mean, I'm gonna beg to differ there.
Oh man!
Should I beg to differ, or should I just?
You can just differ.
Okay.
Yeah. I, for one, am not a foot person at all.
Wait, you're getting into the topic. We're not supposed to be discussing it. It's just a.
Well, how are we going to decide on the topic? We can't take a vote. Do we paper, rock, scissors it? Do we odds and evens?
Well, I suppose I'll just make the decision.
You make the decision.
So I'm gonna pick the bees.
Okay, that's absolutely fine by me.
We're gonna pick the bees. Okay, so
Erica Thompson.
it is currently 6:05 Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to do is start the timer at
Okay.
15 minutes. So we're going to give you a break today because
We don't know
honestly,
what we're doing.
We don't know what we're doing. We're trying to do something that's above our pay grade, which, quite honestly, we're not getting paid anything. So I don't know how that even.
Right.
So 15 minutes. We're going to talk about this, and we've discussed this many times.
Ad nauseum, one would say.
Ad nauseum?
Ad nauseum. Did I say ad nauseum?
I don't know what you said. I think it is ad nauseum.
It
right?
is ad nauseum.
Is that Greek?
Probably.
Latin?
It's probably derived from Greek.
Okay, so the timer started, so we got 15 minutes to discuss this bees topic. So, my background, I have been a beekeeper. I had bees for 10 years. Was on the bee collection page, so people would call me and say, hey, we got bees out here, so if you want to come and get the bees. It never happened for me because I had other things to do. So
My background is I have zero experience in collecting bees. I have been stung by nearly every bee on the planet, but I have no experience whatsoever in collecting bees. I do, however, have experience in watching Erica Thompson collect bees.
Yeah, and I think it's fantastic because obviously we need to really, I mean, what's going on here? We've got to collect bees to save the bees. So here's my problem with it.
Which there should be no problem with it.
It's just the whole presentation of it.
What are you talking about? She's
So-
got a terrific voice.
Okay, so what I like to say is she's from Texas. Fantastic.
Yeah.
God, what do they say?
God bless Texas.
God bless Texas. I don't know why you have to say that, but
I think it's more for music than anything.
it's a song. God bless
Yeah.
Texas. Okay, so I don't think she's from Texas.
I think she's from Texas. I just think she's playing up the another day is saving the bees.
Yeah, well, nobody in Texas talks like that, first of all.
Well, that doesn't matter.
So what's the whole thing called where you whisper and do all this stuff?
It's not ESDM or I can't remember what that's called.
Well, I mean, I hate to tell you this, but to some people that's very irritating because they may have sensitivities to sound and it's irritating.
Who would have sensitivity to that? I mean,
I do.
she could read bedtime stories and
Yeah, well, you don't have to save the bees.
oh no, it's the rhythm of it. No, she's got a wonderful voice.
Well, I mean, I have nothing against her voice, quite honestly. It's how it's presented, and it doesn't appeal to me. The other issue I have is she's not the only one saving bees.
Well, no, there's a cat on TV that's saving bees. The bees are. He's like the polar opposite of Erica Thompson.
Wait, there's a cat saving bees?
Well, you know what I mean. Like a cat, like a dude.
Oh,
He's saving
a
bees.
cat.
He's in dreadlocks. He's got his sons there saving bees. He's rough as a corn cob. But he's the exact opposite of Erica Thompson. It's just Erica Thompson is gentle. Her voice even soothes the bees. She doesn't need that can of smoke. She just needs to sing to them. And those bees will just go onto her hand and not sting her at all.
She does experience some gentle bees.
Yes, it's because I'm sure it's because of her voice. It's of her demeanor. What? You
You're very convincing with that.
Yeah,
and I think there's probably something to that.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I actually kind of feel bad about my comments about it now. I mean, mainly because I have, when I first got bees, I actually sang to my bees.
What did you sing?
Well, I mean, that's a whole other
I want to know the music.
story. So it was actually like antebellum minstrel songs,
Okay.
which are
Would it soothe them?
not very hip these days, but
No, there's not much of a demand.
these headphones don't work, do they?
I've gave them up minutes ago.
So, wow, it sounds completely different. So, I don't know if the music was soothing, but I think that's a whole interaction with the bees.
Mhm.
However, we bring this back around. Is she actually? She's recording videos,
Mhm.
so is she editing the videos and adding the sound, or is the sound actually?
Well, I'm sure she does. She's in a studio. She's not talking like that while she's handling the bees.
Okay, that's
But her demeanor in general is what's soothing the bees. Don't you agree?
yeah, but she could be like cursing the bees while
She's not cursing the bees.
Okay.
She doesn't know one curse word.
Okay.
That lady, she's a saint. Yeah, she's a saint.
You think you get sainthood for saving?
I would think
Saving
so. Of all the
bees.
things that we're saving in this world, we're cloning woolly mammoths now over in, I think, South Korea, we're trying to clone all this stuff. Clone honeybees. How hard could that be? Save the bees that way.
You don't have to clone the honeybees.
The bees are dying.
You just propagate them.
Is it that simple?
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Then what do you release them into the public?
Well, I mean, the bees will decide whether they stay or whether they go.
It's all about finding the queen.
It is about finding the queen.
And Erica Thompson.
So I have to ask you another question. Does Erica maintain an apiary?
I believe she does.
She has her own bee yard?
Without knowing the full story of Erica Thompson, I gotta assume I think I've seen video where she's talked about bringing the bees to her home to.
Yeah, she has to.
Yeah, she has to. I mean, she's just not leaving it out in the middle of Houston.
Like she just goes and collects them and puts them in a box and then.
Yeah, shoves them in a mailbox later on to somebody else's trouble saving the bees.
Well, I applaud her for doing that. She's doing great work.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like sometimes it's, look at me, I'm saving the bees.
Well, there's not anybody on Instagram that's not saying, look at me. There's not one.
Oh. So would it be kind of like, listen to me, I have a podcast?
Quite possibly, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because quite honestly, we've had these discussions for 20 years. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
Right.
So, look at me.
No, it's not look at me. She's not saying look at me. She's saying, let's all band together and save the bees. Not look at me saving the bees. She's saying, hey, she may be saying look at me save the bees.
She is
But
saying,
she's saying, the rest of you, come along. Help me save the bees. She's a wonderful lady. She should be a guest on our podcast.
well, that would be fantastic.
That's right.
As long as she didn't talk like the bees.
If she didn't talk like that, I'd kick her off of it right away.
I think I'd be okay with it.
With her talking like that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would demand it.
But do you really think she talks like that in her normal?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
No. She's churching it up. It's all right.
So should we adopt that voice lyric within our professional life?
Not if we want anybody to listen. I'd say that.
Okay, you've proved my point.
No, we're not Erica. We're Jamie and Greg, the exact polar opposite of Erica.
So let's just suppose that we had a beer store and
Okay.
we sold beer. It's not what we do, but
No.
let's say that's what we did. So I was like, come get the beers.
No, we wouldn't have one customer doing that. A beer drinker's far different than some hippy dippy trying to save some bees. I'm not saying Erica's hippie, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't.
Oh, you know what I mean. No, it's you can't go and run a beer store talking like this. Hey, we have an IPA here that will really make your Saturday go well. No, people are like,
You're not
okay.
even doing it right.
Nobody's doing it right except for Erica. We're all mocking her.
Buy the beers.
There's a video on there where somebody's doing it with cheese. Another day saving the cheese. It's like nobody does it but like Erica.
Yeah, but cheese doesn't need saving.
It rhymes.
I forgot to mention this. So you do realize that honeybees are not native to North America.
I did not realize that.
So we're not actually saving the bees.
Then
We're just trying to keep them here when they don't actually even belong here.
what bee is responsible for pollination in North America?
Well, there's all kinds of native bees.
Hmm.
What you have to think about is what was going on here before, the interlopers came and created all this agriculture and all this
Well, there's
mechanism that requires all this pollination, like almonds. I mean, almonds cannot reproduce without honeybee pollination. So the whole almond industry would suffer. So I'm not saying that the honeybees are not important to what's going on at this time. What I'm saying is the honeybees were brought here. So we're actually, what I would say quite honestly, is we are forcing these honeybees to work for us. So we're not saving them. We're actually trying to force them into labor.
Are you saying we have honeybee concentration camps going on here?
That is exactly what's going on.
Oh my.
So she's not saving the bee. The bees are trying to get away.
So you telling me Erica Thompson's an oppressor?
She's actually putting these bees back into hives and forcing them to work. So they're trying to escape, and it's all come full circle now.
No, I don't accept this premise here at all. Erica is doing the Lord's work, and I applaud her, but no, I can't accept that.
So the Lord said, save the bees.
I don't know if the Lord had a sentence come out of his or her or whoever's mouth that had bee-related topics in it.
Well, I mean, the bees, honey, I know honey's mentioned in the Bible.
Yes, you're right.
And I'm not a Bible scholar. Don't pretend to be. I am studying.
Okay.
But what I would say is honeybees are important,
Indeed.
especially in this modern era. They are not native to our North American agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
Now, our North American agriculture would collapse without the honeybees.
Indeed.
So it is very important that we save the bees. However, I feel that by saving them, we're forcing them into... Have you seen the Bee Movie?
I have seen the Bee Movie, and I'm trying not to reference the Bee Movie, but you're forcing my hand. Now, are bees capable of complex thought to where they know that they're being into forced labor?
Well, I think they're just fantastic workers, and they're going to do whatever we tell them to do.
That's right. And so Erica Thompson needs to keep it up. She needs to keep saving the bees, and she needs to come on our show one day and talk about the task at hand.
Wait, you're getting ahead of our first
Well, yes,
guest.
of
speaker.
course. But I love to listen to her talk. I think she should come out with a series of books, but audio books, not just reading books. You won't get the same effect.
Like if you had to
If I were reading, I would
book
read it in her
yourself?
voice. Yes.
You think she's working on a book?
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
So last question, I guess.
Okay.
Close to time.
Yeah.
Just being mindful
Yeah.
of what we said, promised.
Yeah.
Well, I completely lost what I was going to say.
Excellent question.
So if she wrote a book,
Mm-hmm.
it's a completely different experience
Yeah.
because you would have to listen to yourself read it.
Well, yeah, and I'd read it in her voice. I do that all the time when there's a meme of Back to the Future. Doc Brown is talking to Marty McFly, and it says, Marty, if my calculations are correct, everybody that reads this will be reading it in my voice. And I did. Yeah, so I would read it in her voice.
That's a scary thought, quite honestly, to me.
That's a scary thought?
Yeah.
Boy, I've got way more scary thoughts than that.
Well, I mean, we're on topic here.
Yeah.
It's not a side topic. So, I mean, honestly, that was 15 minutes.
Are we done?
Yeah. I mean, our time is up.
Well, it's still going.
Well, I mean, we haven't stopped recording. The topic time was 15 minutes, and we filled the time.
Okay.
So that was...
That was more for our educational experience than quality podcasting, I would think.
I mean, what's the barometer for quality podcasting?
I would not know what the barometer is.
Is there a barometer?
There's always a barometer.
Or is it a goniometer? How do you measure podcasts? Is there a podcast measuring tool?
I dare guess the ultimate measure of podcasts if anybody listens.
The listenometer.
The listenometer. Yes.
Or the followometer or subscribeometer.
Or the desubscribeometer, depending.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that's a wrap on this. So,
Yeah.
I mean, total time, we're 25 minutes, 10 seconds and counting. We don't know how to use our microphone, headphones. We have sound effects we couldn't apply. However, they seem to work when we weren't creating the podcast. So I guess we'll circle back. So
Double back.
we're going to post this and
See how it goes.
we'll do another. And hopefully we'll have a topic that's not concerning Jamie's fascination with how someone talks.
And also, we won't have one concerning anybody's fascination with buying pictures of feet.
Oh, well, that's still an open topic.
I thought we would just shelve it.
Well, it may come back up.
Oh,
We may have a guest that
buckle up.
makes money.
Buckle up. That's all I can say.
We may know someone. All right. Well, that's all from Dutch Valley. We'll see y'all soon.
Take care.